Welcome back. A scary thing to think about, and your little one getting into your medicine cabinet or your teen abusing prescription drugs. It's a very real problem. Making a house call tonight, Dr. Luann Labian with the Traverse Area Pediatrics and Adolescent Clinic. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Dr. Labian, this is really difficult for parents because obviously you get prescribed certain medications and you obviously have to take them, but they're within the reach of children. Is this becoming something more common?
Absolutely. This has become a big problem all across the United States and even in northern Michigan. I think the CDC numbers show that it has tripled since 1990.
That's scary.
Yeah, very, very scary. And the numbers of deaths to drug abuse, to prescription drug abuse, is actually higher than heroin, cocaine combined. And
scary.
Those are really big numbers. So it is very frightening. And many of these teens can get into these drugs right from your home or your grandparents' home.
That's right. Now, I know that a teenager actually told you to talk about this tonight, and that's unbelievable.
Yeah, actually I was in my office, and I was, bouncing off people, what should we talk about, and one of my teenagers that I've been caring for said, Dr. Labian, I think you really need to talk about this. And she is clean now from having an opiate addiction, and was able to tell me that my addiction came from my mother's medicine cabinet and my grandmother's, and
wow.
That's a really scary thing. I mean, grandparents and parents were totally unaware of it.
Now,
totally unaware.
It's unbelievable. Now, when you talk about opiates, which pain relievers are you talking about here?
What we're talking about is the really common ones that are used that sometimes you don't even think about as being unsafe. Like your Percocet, your Vicodin, your Oxycontin, and there's other drug uses too, not just opiates. There's the ADHD drugs, the Ritalin, the amphetamines, the Adderall, all those. But many of these are things that people think, oh, I'll just keep them around the house because if I get an ache or a pain, I'll use it for painkiller. But these opiates are very, very strong, and you need to talk to your teenagers about how strong that these things are. That they are not to be used, they're not to be shared. I think there's a scary number out there, like 30% of the adolescents have shared their prescription drugs. That's a scary thing.
That is scary.
So that includes, your ADHD drugs and other things. So that's still a very big number. So we need to make sure that we're the role models and we don't share our drugs. I don't say, oh, I get a headache.
Yeah, sure, take this.
Yeah, no.
Because it also has different effects on people.
Absolutely. So it's really important that we're that role model, that we don't share our drugs, that we teach our teenagers that it's so important that these are prescriptions because they're unsafe. That really not to give us a false idea that they're safe because the doctor gave them. No. They're unsafe, and that's why a doctor has to monitor them and make sure that your body is ready for it, that the person's body can care for it, that everything's right, and that you don't get too much or too little and cause addiction. So it's really important that we relay this information and we make our houses safe. That's the other thing. Mm-hmm. And by making our houses safe, we need to lock it up and we need to monitor these prescriptions and make sure it may not be your kid that gets into it. Maybe your kid's friend, maybe somebody you don't know very much. You don't know where these kids are getting this. So you really need to be careful. Really careful.
And dispose of properly.
And dispose of properly. Yep.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Labian, and important advice tonight. I thank you.